I've made several writing videos on shonen battle manga illustrating the strengths of the subgenre, but I've never made an all-encompassing video on how good the genre is. I believe that I am now equipped to paint a picture of impressive quality contained with the biggest hits of battle manga, and I'll do it by comparing it to cinema, movies, and TV shows that are elite at what they do and gather critical acclaim and monetary success. Fantasy stories like Star Wars, Harry Potter, Dune, and Lord of the Rings have their rich settings as a major appeal to draw in audiences. They have their unique magic systems and science fiction technology. They have multiple locations and a deep world history that gives viewers a lot to dive into. The best battle shonen have this. They may not have multiple races like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, but they have vastly complex magic systems seen in stories like Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, and Hunter x Hunter. Even more simple magic systems seen in One Piece, MHA, or Black Clover have a solid amount of complexity that is uncommon in Western stories. Stories like Dune, Game of Thrones, and Lord of the Rings have a limited amount of focal locations and nations that have a detailed web of relations. Naruto's ninja villages, Magi's countries, and Black Clover's kingdoms scratch that same itch. The genre has more to offer. One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, and Fairy Tail take a different approach. Each location almost lives in a vacuum, but the advantage is that they can get very inventive with their supernatural traits and support the unique story that the author is trying to tell. That's how arcs like Alabasta, Skypiea, Tower of Heaven, Edolis, and Greed Island are able to exist. Like Harry Potter, some stories introduce a spin on the real world. Bleach, Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, and Jujutsu Kaisen follow that style. If you like the significance of families in Dune, Game of Thrones, or Star Wars, manga like Naruto, Bleach, Black Clover, and JJK have the family business covered, equipped with genetic abilities as well. Pixar movies are well renowned for their powerful emotional messages that can move people of all ages. These can also double as lessons for viewers that need to hear them. Learning to share the spotlight, learning that leaving someone physically doesn't mean love is lost, putting your family over your career, learning to let your kids fight for themselves, learning that friendship is more important than winning, learning that there's value in negative emotions, and learning to move on from the death of a loved one are a few of the messages that stood out to me. These stories consistently nail the messages through theme development. The characters have to learn the lesson after having been on the opposite side of it, the lie. They also usually have an antagonist that represents the opposite side and is a dark reflection of them. It's what they will become if they don't learn the truth. Finally, the theme is carved in stone by having the character take an action in the climax that supports the truth. At their best, battle shonen are able to do the same. They are able to tackle universal themes. One Piece says you should be ready to die trying to achieve your dreams, and ruling by fear is ineffective. Naruto says that one part of your identity doesn't define who you are, and that teamwork beats working alone. Bleach says you should risk your life to save others. FMA says you shouldn't let anyone die for your dreams. Fairy Tail says hurting innocent people is wrong, and you should choose your own path rather than letting others decide for you. Hero Academia says you should help others, even at your own expense, and that you aren't defined by your blood ties. Black Clover says that you should never give up. Demon Slayer says that familial bonds are built on love, not fear. Jujutsu Kaisen says you should always save others when you have the option, and that human lives have value. They are also able to tackle themes more tailored towards the individual story. One Piece says that grit and determination is superior to weapons. Naruto says that ninja aren't tools. Bleach says that Shinigami and Quincy should work together. FMA says science shouldn't play with other people's lives. Battle manga also develop themes through character arcs, truth and lie representatives, and unique externalizations of the truth in the climax. I have videos on these themes for a more detailed look at these stories. Each Pixar movie has one theme, but with the battle genre, each story arc ideally has one theme, which leads to multiple powerful themes told throughout the story. Superhero movies are really good at displaying inspiring acts of heroism. There's Peter rescuing a kid from a fire, Spider-Man stopping the train and saving kids in the cable car, Iron Man saving civilians in Galmira, Batman saving Gordon's son, the Gotham civilians choosing not to blow each other up, S.H.I.E.L.D. standing up to Hydra, and many more. Even recently, Superman and Fantastic Four came out, and people said that it made them feel hopeful. The battle genre has that in spades. A lot of these have to do with saving, just like superheroes. Luffy saves Nami, Robin, and Kobe. Naruto saves Inari, Tsunade against Kabuto, and Tsunade against Pain. Ichigo goes through a process that could kill him to save his family, and later saves Rukia and Orihime. Natsu saves Lucy, Ursa, and Yukino, and then he fights for Yukino's honor, despite her being from an opposing guild. Deku saves Todoroki mentally, and actually saves Eri, Koda, and the Ordinary Woman. Asta saves Noelle, Nobara saves a random kid, Yuji tries to save a delinquent, and Gojo and Geto save Riko. Yuji also willingly eats Sukuna's finger, which could kill him, to save Megumi. Japan's battle genre and America's superhero genre are very close and have a lot of overlap, and it's not just because they're comics. Kung fu action movies like Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan films are packed with elite choreography and beautiful presentations of martial arts. Films like John Wick also have martial arts, but they include weapons like guns and get creative with their locations and gimmicks to make the fight stand out. When it comes to just hands and feet, the battle genre has it. DBZ, Yu Yu Hakusho, One Piece, Naruto, and Jujutsu Kaisen have great hand-to-hand fights. If you want swords, Kenshin, Bleach, and Demon Slayer do that. And then a third is magic, like no other genre. The magical fights all throughout the battle genre are unparalleled. The way they mix melee choreography with magic system depth and complexity creates some of the best action scenes ever penned to paper and put on screen. And the way John Wick is told through back-to-back action scenes is battle manga's specialty, especially in arcs like tournament arcs and rescue arcs. At its best, battle manga arcs are a combination of all of these magnificent elements. They have the wonderful rich fantasy settings of high fantasy stories. They have the emotional theme development of Pixar movies. They have the inspiring heroism of superhero movies. And they have the spectacular action of kung fu movies. And at their best, they do this every arc. Each arc has a theme. Each arc has epic action. Each arc develops the setting. Each arc has heroics. Each arc is treated like a movie. It's like another film in the long cinematic universe, except it's all connected. We have the same characters from the previous films and the same writers too, ensuring consistency. It's like watching the Harry Potter film series, but with all of the traits I discussed turned up to 11. Battle Shonen is cinema to me because at its best, it's able to recreate certain elements from different types of elite films and consistently execute them at a high level. The fantasy stories don't always have great themes, heroism, or action scenes, and the action movies don't always have great settings, themes, or heroism, but the battle genre has it all and does it as well as the movies that specialize in them, or even better. This is my persuasive essay on why the battle genre is the best genre. That's the end of Natsu Rendan 2. Thank you for watching.